Someone you are currently distant from is carrying a deep and heavy regret, much stronger than they have ever shown you. They are realizing that choosing someone else over you is not just a small mistake, but something that cost them a real and meaningful connection. At the time, they may have convinced themselves it was the right decision, but now that everything has settled, they can clearly see what they lost. This realization is not coming lightly. It is sitting on their heart, replaying in their mind, making them question their own actions again and again. The energy around them feels like they have reached an emotional low point. The Ten of Swords reflects that inner pain, where they feel mentally exhausted and emotionally overwhelmed. It is like everything has hit them at once. They are facing the truth of their choices, and it hurts because they know they cannot change the past. There is guilt here, a strong awareness that they hurt you and created this distance themselves. They may not be expressing it openly, but inside, they feel the weight of what they did. It is not something they can easily distract themselves from anymore. The more they try to move forward, the more they are reminded of you and how things could have been different. At the same time, their feelings for you have not faded. The King of Wands shows that there is still a strong pull towards you, filled with passion, attraction, and a desire to take action. This is not someone who has let go emotionally. If anything, the distance has made their feelings more intense. They're starting to feel a strong urge to come forward, to fix things, and to reconnect with you. But there is a struggle happening within them. Their pride, their fear of rejection, and the shame of their past actions are holding them back from moving as quickly as they want to. They are beginning to understand your value in a way they did not before. The absence has made everything clearer. They are realizing that you were not easily replaceable, that what you offered them was genuine, and that the connection they shared with you had depth. The situation or person they chose instead does not seem to give them the same feeling, and this comparison is making the regret even stronger. It feels like they are slowly waking up to the truth that they let something real slip away. Right now, they are stuck between pain and action. One part of them is still processing the hurt and the consequences, while another part is building the courage to come back toward you. They think about you more than they admit. They remember the way you made them feel, the connection, the comfort, and the emotional closeness that is now missing from their life. There is a sense that they are not at peace, that something feels incomplete without you. This is not a surface-level feeling. It is something that is changing them from within. The regret is teaching them, humbling them, and making them reflect on who they were and who they want to become. The desire to take action is growing, but it has not fully overcome their fear yet. Still, the energy suggests that they will not stay silent forever, because what they feel for you is strong, and the realization of losing you is something they're struggling to accept. Right now, everything is asking you to slow down and trust the pause. This distance between you and this person was not random. It was needed because the connection had become too heavy, too emotional, and too unbalanced. You were giving, waiting, and hoping while they were holding back, staying silent, or avoiding what they truly felt. It seems like you were the one who reached out last, and since then you've been stuck in that painful space of waiting, checking your phone, overthinking every little detail, and feeling emotionally drained. That kind of silence can make you feel trapped, like your peace depends on whether they respond or not. The energy of the Ten of Swords shows how deeply this has hurt you. It reflects that breaking point where you feel exhausted, disappointed, and overwhelmed by everything that has happened. It's the pain of being left without answers, of feeling like things ended or shifted in a way you didn't deserve. But this energy is not only about pain, it also shows that this difficult cycle is ending. The worst of the emotional weight is being released. What felt like a painful ending is actually clearing space for something new and healthier to begin. At the same time, the King of Wands represents this person. They are strong, intense, and passionate, but also very guarded when it comes to emotions. They may come off distant, stubborn, or even selfish at times. but that is because they struggle to express what they truly feel. This is someone who's been dealing with their own responsibilities or inner battles, and instead of opening up, they chose silence. It wasn't that they didn't care, it's that they didn't know how to handle the depth of this connection. The distance has forced them to reflect, and now they are starting to see their own behavior more clearly, including the ways they avoided accountability. Even with the silence, the connection between you is still very strong. There is a magnetic pull that has not faded. You may still feel their energy, think about them unexpectedly, or see little reminders of them everywhere. This shows that the connection is not fully over. It is just in a phase of transformation. They are not truly at peace without you either. In fact, they are starting to feel the absence more deeply now, realizing that what they had with you is not something they can easily replace. There is a strong sense that they want to come forward. Communication feels close and may happen suddenly, at a moment you don't expect. This could be a message, a call, or even a desire to see you. It won't feel casual. It will come with intention because they have been holding a lot inside. However, they are still surrounded by some confusion or unhealthy energy. So while they may return, it doesn't mean everything is instantly perfect. There will still need to be honesty, growth, and emotional maturity for things to truly move forward. You are also at a crossroads. Part of you is still deeply drawn to them, while another part of you is tired of waiting and wants peace. Some of you may even feel stuck between two choices or two paths in love. This confusion is real, but it's also showing you that you are not stuck. You have options. You are not someone who has to wait to be chosen. Your energy is rare, and people notice you. This person knows that too, and it's one of the reasons they are being pulled back toward you. What once felt like an ending is slowly turning into a shift. The separation pushed both of you to grow, even if it didn't feel like it at the time. They are realizing your value, and you are being reminded of your own strength. The key right now is not to chase or force anything. Let them come to you. Let their actions show you the truth. Focus on yourself, your peace, and your healing. This situation is not empty. Something is building beneath the surface. Communication, truth, and clarity are getting closer. But until that moment arrives, remember that your life does not pause for someone else. The pain is ending, the energy is shifting, and whatever comes next will show you clearly whether this connection is ready to rise again in a better way. This energy feels very deep and intentional, like someone who doesn't just see you as a temporary connection, but as someone they could actually build a life with. They think about the future with you, not just small moments, but something long-term and stable. They want to talk to you about where this is going, but at the same time, they struggle a lot with expressing how they feel. Their emotions are strong, but they don't know how to put them into words, so they hold everything inside. Even though they don't always show it, you can feel that they care. Their love is there, it's just not always spoken. There is an unexpected conversation coming, but before that happens, this person has been going through a phase of healing. They're trying to understand themselves and fix certain things within them before coming toward you properly. It feels like both of you have been pulling this connection toward each other, even in silence. The signs you've been noticing, the thoughts, the dreams, the reminders of them, all reflect how strong this bond still is. Nothing about this connection feels random or accidental. If they haven't reached out yet, it's not because they don't care. It's because they don't know what to say. Their mind is full, they are distracted, and they are overthinking everything. Instead of listening to their heart, they are trying to control the situation with logic. They are planning, thinking, and trying to make the right move, but this is only slowing them down. There may also be other responsibilities or even another situation involved, which is making things more complicated for them. They are standing between two paths, trying to understand what life looks like with you and without you. They feel the difference, even if they don't say it. At the same time, they're busy with work or life pressures, which adds to the distance. There is history between you, and that history carries pain. Something happened that created emotional damage. Either they hurt you or they feel like they betrayed someone. That weight has not left them. The Ten of Swords energy shows how deep that pain went. It represents the heartbreak, the silence, and the feeling that everything was over. It's that moment where you felt emotionally drained and defeated. But it also shows that the worst part has already happened. That painful cycle has reached its end, and things cannot stay in that same energy forever. The King of Wands energy shows who they are becoming. This is someone who wants to take action, who wants to be confident, direct, and in control of their life in a better way. Right now, they are not fully there yet, but they are moving toward it. They are slowly shifting from fear and silence into courage and action. When they step fully into this energy, they will stop holding back and come forward with more clarity. This person misses you deeply. The love you gave them is not something they can ignore or replace. At the same time, they feel like they are not good enough for you, and that fear is one of the reasons they created distance. They act like they don't care, but it's because they care too much and don't know how to handle it. Their ego and fear of rejection also keep them stuck. They don't like confrontation, and they don't like feeling vulnerable, so silence became their way of coping. This connection has been emotionally draining for you, and at times it has felt like the end. But that feeling is more fear than reality. This person has been fighting the urge to contact you. They think about it often, especially in quiet moments, but they keep holding themselves back. Even if it seems like they are not paying attention, they are still watching you in their own quiet ways. They are also dealing with deeper emotional wounds that need healing. They carry pain from the past, and until they face it, they struggle to express themselves properly. Still, there is regret inside them for the distance they created. They know they handled things poorly, but instead of admitting it, they stayed silent. This silence is not permanent. They are being pushed to make a decision, and they cannot stay stuck forever. The more time passes, the stronger their feelings become, and the harder it becomes for them to ignore you. The energy shows movement, and it feels like they will reach out when you least expect it, in a quiet moment when their thoughts about you become too strong to ignore. You are dealing with someone who carries a very intense and magnetic energy, someone who may appear confident and in control on the outside, but is deeply complex within. This connection has never felt ordinary, and that is why it has stayed on your mind no matter how much time or distance has come between you. Lately, you may have been noticing signs everywhere, repeating numbers, random reminders, little moments that instantly make you think of them. This is not something to ignore. What you are feeling is real, and this message is your confirmation that this connection still holds meaning and is not over. The separation between you both may have felt painful and confusing, almost like everything collapsed in a way you didn't expect. There was a moment where things broke down emotionally, where you may have felt hurt, betrayed, or left in silence without answers. That energy reflects a deep ending, the kind that forces everything to stop so the truth can no longer be avoided. This person may have reached a point where their own actions and fears caused damage they could not ignore anymore. Instead of handling things maturely, they pulled away, avoided communication, and let their insecurities take control. Their distance was never about your worth. It was about their inability to face their own emotions. Even though it looked like they didn't care, they were actually overwhelmed by how deeply they felt. This is someone who struggled with vulnerability, someone who did not know how to deal with the intensity of this connection. They may have acted cold, inconsistent, or emotionally unavailable, and that created confusion for you. One moment they felt close, the next they disappeared. That pattern came from fear, not from a lack of feelings. Now, there's a strong shift happening within them. They are moving out of that broken, avoidant energy and stepping into a more confident and decisive version of themselves. This is someone who is starting to understand what they truly want and is no longer willing to keep running from it. Their energy is becoming more direct, more passionate, and more focused. Instead of hiding, they are preparing to take action. I strongly feel that communication is coming, something honest and meaningful that you have been waiting for. This person wants to say something that carries weight, something that shifts the energy between you. They have been thinking about you more than you realize, and they now see your value clearly. They notice how others are drawn to you, how your energy stands out, and it has made them understand what they almost lost. At the same time, I feel your hesitation. You may not trust this easily, and that is understandable. After everything that happened, it is hard to believe that things could change so suddenly. You may feel like it is too good to be true, and part of you wants to protect your heart. But what is different now is that this person is not in the same energy they were before. They are more aware, more mature, and more ready to face what they feel instead of avoiding it. This connection carries a deep, long-term energy. It is not something casual or temporary. It feels like something rare, something that stays with you even when you try to move on. There may have been obstacles, distance, timing issues, or differences that made things difficult, but none of that erased what exists between you. Sometimes the strongest connections go through separation because both people need to grow before they can come together in the right way. What once felt like a painful ending was actually the closing of an old cycle. That pain forced this person to change, to reflect, and to understand the consequences of their actions. Now they are stepping into a stronger, more confident energy where they are ready to come forward and pursue what they truly want. And what they want is you. A shift is happening very soon. The silence is breaking, the truth is coming forward, and the waiting period is coming to an end. What once felt broken is slowly being rebuilt in a more honest and mature way. This is not the same situation repeating itself. This is a new phase where clarity replaces confusion and action replaces silence.